Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I shall be doing a psychic card divination for my client Inna, I-N-N-A, Inna. Now in this psychic card divination, I will be doing 3 card spread. Okay, so Inna, please pay attention, and the viewers as well. In the first card, I will be focusing on your current situation. Now, your current situation would imply the state of mind, your actions, your circumstance, your emotional development, all in this current period. And the current period doesn't have to be a matter of days or a matter of weeks. It can be a matter of months, So we talk of it as a current situation. Only you will know when it started and when it transitioned to another period or phase. Now the second card will focus on specifics, what you need to do in this current situation. And the third card will be either a blessing and or a challenge. So the third card tells you what are some of the boons, the rewards, the blessings, or the challenges, or some problems that you might face during this period. Okay, so listen very carefully then. So the first card would be your current situation, a general concept. The second card focuses on specifics. And the third card tells you what you would like to hear. That is, are you getting anything good ahead of you, or will you be facing a challenge? So with that, shall we get started? Okay, I'm going to take a deep breath because it's very early in the morning. It's now 2 o'clock. And Inna, while I was just researching on you a little bit, when I say researching, meaning, contemplating, to see how after the reading for numerology, I can help you with your psychic card reading. And then Michael Jackson kept popping into my head, and I could not get him out until I did a video on Michael Jackson. Now he's out of my screen. I shall focus on you. Okay, all right. Take a deep breath. And yeah, it's never too early for me because I'm an early person, and I love the midnight hour and after the midnight hour because it is in my element, it's a quiet contemplative time where spirits are all around us, the good ones, of course. All right, Inna, I'm going to take the first card. And if you remember, the first card talks about your current situation. Okay, ready? Now I want you to focus. Okay, when you're watching the video, of course it's a delayed response there, but doesn't matter. We are spirits, all of us. So when you are focusing and watching, I want you to really sync with what I'm saying and the whole ambience of it. Okay, so let me take the first card for you. Okay, this is talking about your situation. I found a card. I found a card. All right. This card, the first card, Inna, will be focusing on your current situation. This will be on many levels. Okay, it's like kuih lapis. It has got your secular life, your professional, your work life, your family, your children, your husband, or whatever connections you have with a significant other. Okay, and then with your siblings, your family, your parents if they are still in the body. And then of course the next level is your psycho-spiritual level, your psychology, and your spirituality. And then of course if there is a possibility, the higher level which talks about your journey into the spirit world, if you have already embarked on such a journey. The journey to the spirit world, I should have said spirit instead of spiritual, because the spirit world can be anything religious or spiritual or occult, right? It can be any dimensional exposure that you have opened up towards. Okay, now this is a beautiful card, and on this beautiful morning at 2 o'clock, when it's so nice and cool, and energies are so quiet and soothing, for me to take a card and again, I keep smiling when I think of you and the potpourri. So I don't know how I concocted that word for you. Anyway, the point is, Ina, this card, Ina, if I were not to take it in your context, it means I got to see it in the context of the other two cards. But if I were to look at this card alone, without looking at it in terms of your current situation, then I would say this card has to do with very deep spirituality. And very deep spirituality can be a person in either religion or in some kind of occult, some kind of magical, some kind of spiritual work. Or psychology. Can be a psychiatrist, psychologist, that kind of mind, psyche nature, like Carl Jung. Okay? Now this card, I'm going to explain the significance before I connect it to your current situation. Now this card has got very powerful sacred geometry. Now you have the triangle, but the triangle is now facing downwards instead of the upward facing equilateral triangle. You know what I mean? Now the upward facing triangle is moving towards the abstraction of thoughts, ideas, philosophy, and spirituality, the occult. The downward facing triangle, and you can see a planet attached to it. Okay, so I'm going to assume it's Earth because you are human after all. Okay, now therefore the downward facing triangle talks about aspirations that need to be actualized. I repeat, it talks about aspirations that need to be actualized. So, and the eye in the center always represents an awakening, the understanding. So you are in a situation right now where you are, I'm talking to your soul, to your psyche, your subconscious, the spiritual element of you, even your auric field. Now you are in that situation right now, Ina, where you are ready to actually show small things about yourself to the world. To the world here would mean your immediate family, your circle of friends, your neighborhood, your society. That you have matured to the extent that you can take abstract things about you, like your spiritual things, your philosophical things, your creative things, and create it and manifest it in this stage of your life. Now you may be thinking in your heart, but I'm not a little girl anymore, I'm not a teenager anymore, I'm not a young adult anymore. But Ina, look at me, I'm 62 and I'm still having fun on the internet, on this channel, like a little girl, at 2 o'clock, still not asleep and, having a great whale of a time. So, Ina, age does not matter. It is all people who focus on age and chronology and all that, they have very small minds. Because if you think of yourself as that powerful spirit having a human existence, Ina, then you can do anything you focus on. And I'm speaking from my own experience too. A few months back, who would have thought that I would start a YouTube channel? I'm so horrible with my electronics. I can't even repair the light, for heaven's sakes, and I did it. And nobody pushed me, nobody said anything, nobody gave me a brief on it or how to do it or gave me a hands-on, nothing. I just woke up, I said I'm going to try this, and I just tried it, and one thing led to another. Today I am doing this reading for you. So this card, Ina, talks about your ability now in your current situation to manifest. What is for you to decide? because it's already within you. Your aspirations have been there with you since the time you began to desire. You see my point? So when did you start desiring? When you were a child, it was food, right, and toys. And then when you become a teenager, then your horizons expanded, right? And so today, in whatever age or climate you are in, the important point is, the message to you is, whatever aspirations you have had carried with you all these years, and whichever aspiration has not been actualized, this situation you are in right now is a creative ground for you to exercise it. Do not care what others say or what others think. You know what I mean? People might throw stones and say, hey, at this age you want to do that? Are you okay? Well, sure. Do it. I am and I shall do it. I am that I am. That's a very good affirmation. Now, let me take the second card for you. And the second card goes into the nitty-gritty of your situation right now. I think that will be very useful. So focus with me, Ina, and let us get it done. Yeah, I see a card. See a card. I've been telling you, if you've been watching my other psychic videos, see, I've got two kinds of videos. One is for numerology, one is for my psychic cards. I've always told my clients and everybody watching that, I myself amazed how the divine energies show me that when the cards sync, S-Y-N-C, that is their signature, you see. And they always told me this, Shah, you disappear. You have to disappear so we can appear and talk to the client. So I humbly disappeared and disappear after a sip of tea. Now, voila. Second card talks about the details of your current situation. Is there a problem? No. Is there a problem? No. Is there a challenge? Yeah. What's the challenge? I'm going to bring the card closer to you. Okay? I'll make it as close as I can. You can see, look at this, look at them as symbols, okay? At the top there, in the air element, sky element, the air element, you see a blooming rose. Beneath the rose, you see a swallow, a bird. And beneath the bird, you see an egg hatched and a fetus inside, a human fetus. And then on the ground, right, there are no more symbols at all, because it's just the ground looking up. So all these three symbols, the blooming rose, the swallow, and the fetus in the hatched egg, they are in the sky element. Remember, we've got the air element, we've got the water, the earth, and the fire, right? These are the four elements in our terrestrial dimension. Then when you go slightly up away from the earth dimension, you get ether. And this ether has to do with space and the Akashic records, and all kinds of strange magnetic spiritual things occur there. Now here, what this card indicates to you, Ina, is that your potential is ripe, as in the case of the baby hatched. The fetus waiting to be actualized, waiting to come out and live our life. So, and then the blooming rose already bloomed. The swallow, no longer a nestling, no longer a little bird, a baby bird. It has flown. So all these are in the air element. So what does it mean? It means that within you, you have so many ideas. You have so many aspirations. They are all in the element of your head, your thoughts, your mind. It's what we call the air element, you see? The air element. So on the ground, which is the actuality, they have not yet ripened. So they have ripened up in the air element. The rose has bloomed, the swallow has flown, and the baby has hatched. But they have yet to touch ground and be observed, appreciated, experienced, tasted. Okay, so this is a very important advice to you, because if I were to take the first card is a high spiritual card, very high psychical, magnetic card, which tells me that, you know, the spirit is very interested in its journey on earth. That its focus is not upwards but downwards. Downwards meaning to this third dimensional reality. And its eye is awakened, meaning it is ready to manifest. Manifest what? The blooming rose, the free, you know, the swallow in flight, or the bird in flight, and the baby hatched, waiting to take its role on this earth. So all these three, the blooming rose represents love. So I have a question for you. Do you have an issue with love recently? Love of any kind, Ina. Okay, it can be an intimate love situation. It can be a love situation with a sibling, a love situation with a certain child, a love situation with the product of that child, like a grandchild, a love situation with a colleague or a partner that you're working with, right? Or it could be with your own spouse, right? If your spouse is no longer with you, then it could be with someone who is really caring about you. So do you have the guts? Do you have that the final confidence to open up yourself to this love vibration? Okay, so remember, it has got many levels. You know, it can be on the first level, you know, quite obvious to everyone, is an intimate relationship, but it can also be with your own spouse, and therefore it's an intimate relationship. If you don't have a spouse, then with some other person. It can be again a sibling, a family, a mother-child, a mother-mother, a mother-sister. So the concept here is love, and the love is ready to be manifested, experienced, shown, and shared. The flight of the swallow, in my opinion, because it's still in the air, represents ideas that can benefit you. So if you have some ideas that if you translate and make others also see them, and make others buy them, for instance, you know, like write a book, a story, or come up with an idea in your head and come up with a product, and get others to appreciate them by buying them, like, you know, getting into a business. That's what I meant. So do you have that in mind at the moment? No? Or it could also represent travel. Okay, so you have an idea because of the COVID and all that, everything has been, you know, put aside, you know. So you may have had this urge, this love to visit some place. And could it be possible that you can visit that place this year or the coming years, or even this month or the coming month? So this is food for thought for you. Huh? Now the third one is very interesting. The birth of another life. And it's in an egg, the egg of creation. The womb of creation. It represents, of course, the womb of creation. It has already opened, so waiting to be manifested. Now this is high creativity. The child does not necessarily mean giving birth to a human child, although that is a possibility for others. Okay, I don't know whether in your case it is a possibility, but it could also imply, I mean, don't smile, it could also imply adoption. Don't forget that. It could imply adoption. Are you thinking of helping somebody, an orphan, you know, or someone, you know, who has been rejected by the family? And that, you know, are you thinking in your head of doing something for that person? Then the third symbol would come into play. Okay? Or it could also be your own children, you know. Are you thinking of doing something to become closer to them? To show that maternal side that they have not seen some time ago? You know what I mean? Because, you know, we all have that experiences, right? Like when we raise the children and all that, sometimes we judge ourselves and say, I've not done a good job. because something went wrong. But that's not true actually. So the third one, the hatching of the baby, is an emotion, you know. It's a very intimate, it's quite different from the rose. The rose is just a love relationship. But the hatching of the baby is a deep emotion. So is this something that you need to look into? Now, I would say all in all, the two cards, okay, the first card and the second card, they are so synergized. One leads to the other, and remember, we're talking about the second card, what you need to do in this period. So there are three things for you to mull over. Let's take the third card. You have a blessing or you have a challenge, or is it both? Let's take a look, shall we? Let me have a drink first. Okay. Good, so far it's going well. Oops. Okay. When the card drops, I don't pick it up, because it's not meant for you. I see a card. I see a card. Okay. So like you. So like you. All right. The goddess. The dark goddess. In your case, the darkness is waiting to appear. Waiting to reveal is another choice verb. Waiting to appear, waiting to reveal, waiting to be in charge. So there could be issues about not being respected enough, issues about rejection from someone you really loved very much, issues about someone taking you for granted, that you want to show, hey, not me, that kind of thing, you know what I mean? So this is a beautiful card actually in terms of being assertive, coming back into your power, into your realm, into your territory, and showing the people concerned or the person concerned that you are your own goddess, that you are your own boss. No one pushes you around. No one ignores you at this stage of your life. Now take this card and take a look at the second card. You can see in many ways they are connected, because notice in the second card we have got the very strong element of the air, and in the third card of the goddess we have powers of control. You know, the sigils and the scepter, and you know, both hands. There's a balance there, and it's almost like she has bloomed from a flower. She has come up from some kind of a closed bud, B-U-D. And there is this brilliance that's about to shine, but not yet. Akan datang, as they say. So what does it all mean? Is it a boon or is it a challenge? In my opinion, by looking at the card and in relation to the two other cards, Ina, I would say that it is going to be a boon, a blessing, if you be more assertive. In other words, don't be done to. You know, don't be passive about your current situation. If you need to do something to prove to someone, to clarify with someone, to arrange matters with someone and get all the loose ends tied, this is the period for you to show who you really are to the person or the people who have taken you for granted, or who have just slighted you, or who have just felt that, you know, you are of no use to them. Right? So when I did your numerology card, there was a great laughter and joy. So therefore, you are definitely still able to contribute to your society, your family, your own inner self. You need, in short, you need a rejuvenation. Okay, Ina? I'm going to close with that. You need a rejuvenation. Before I close, I'm going to ask you to ask me a question in your heart, which I know you already have. If you haven't, then think about it. And I'm going to give you one answer. It can either be yes, no, or wait. Okay? So in your heart, whether you're doing it right now or tomorrow, doesn't matter. In your heart, think of a question for me, and the question must be worded in such a way it is yes, no, or wait. Okay? I'm going to shuffle the cards. And Ina, please focus. Ina. ask a question and it should be either yes, no, or wait. I got it. I got it. I got it. The answer is no. So whatever aspiration you have in your heart that you are asking me a specific question, Ina, the answer is no. Okay? Now I leave you to decide because you're the goddess of your life. I am just a conduit doing my job. Not really my job, but disappearing so that they can come in and talk to you. Now we've had a very fruitful session today, very mystical, but at the same time rooted down on the earth. Okay, the rose, the swallow, and the hatched child. Very interesting. I hope they appear in your dream. Any one of those symbols, do let me know. With that, God bless you. Alright, the angels be with you, Ina, and I pray that you will have the gumption to go ahead and be assertive and take charge of your rejuvenation. Goodbye, love. Stay young, stay beautiful, stay happy. Bye-bye.